Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome to a special video where you will see no gameplay and the only thing that you will see is my hangar, and I will give you a rundown of what I have achieved so far in my 3.5 years of playing War Thunder, or over 3.5 years, and also I want to present you how my account looks before the new big patch 1.65 rolls out that will change a lot of things. We will get the Japanese closed beta, we will eventually also get the closed beta for ships, I hope so, and overall I think the next patch will change a lot, and I have achieved actually quite a bit. As you can see here, I have a lot of vehicles, of which the overwhelming majority is actually spaded. Now, about spaded vehicles, yeah, there are also some premiums involved, and yeah, I just want to begin overall with the American plane section. Let me know in the comment section which planes you'd love to have and which ones you actually have and which are rare. P-51A is from the dog tag from the Thunder League, and yeah, the XF-5F, not a very good plane. It was available 2 or 3 times. I won the Spitfire LF Mark 9C in an event. The F7F3 was available in the summer event. The A26C45 I won with some old friends that I haven't actually seen in a long time playing War Thunder. Yeah, and as you can see, for all planes rank 1 to rank 4 they are fully spaded, and this is for all nations, for all planes and all tanks. Rank 1 to rank 4 are fully spaded. Just rank 5 is a bit off, and as you can see for the American jets, none of the jets are spaded, although some of them are close by, and I will keep them in reserve for some extra free experience when you finish the grind for one tier of upgrades. Then the army. I won some talismans on the M13 AAA. Yeah, I won the M24 TL. Was it also in the Thunder League? I'm not quite sure. Don't remember really where I got that from. But as you can see, I don't have the majority of tier 4 premiums. I would be kind of interested how the T29 plays. I'm mostly a heavy tank driver. Super Hellcat is really fun, and for grinding purposes this should be your vehicle. I'm so glad that I'm done with the patterns, and let's move on to Germany. And first of all, the aviation, we can see 2 premiums that are rather rare. The Heinkel 51B2H, it's the float plane. The Focke-Wulf 189A1, this is also really rare and I love it. It's really maneuverable and fun to play. I missed the Heinkel 112B2 U2. Then I won a few talismans on the Heinkel 51. Likewise on the BF110C3 and the Focke-Wulf A1. Then some Spavieros, which are no longer available. The BF109 E7 U2, I think that also was in the dog tag. Yeah, really fun. Biggest plane in the game, biggest fun you can have with a bomber. Then I won also the LA5FN. This one I highly recommend. It's cheap, it's created by a user, it's the first user made or user created plane. You should support him. A bit of the golden eagles that you spend on this plane actually gets towards him. Yeah, then the TAL 152C3, one of the most beautiful planes in the game. For the jets, I spaded the majority of them, with the exception of the CL13 because 50 cals and the MiG-15 because sparking. For tanks, it's getting a bit more interesting. Now, I won a few talismans here, and what are their rare tanks? The KV-1B is rather rare. It was available 2 times. The VK-4501P is practically like a Panzerbefehlswagen 6P, just without the additional armor and no APCR. So then when we go a bit more down, we can see that I have, this might be my most played tank in the game, and the Panther 2 comes afterwards. I actually have the, when we put it in here, I played for the ace qualification. I didn't spend golden eagles for it. You can see also the Tiger 1 is really played a lot. Almost forget this. So, just to be a completionist. Yeah, also the crew has a little bit of free experience lying around. I played it that hard. The mouse, and a very special tank that is. So then let's move on to Russia. And Russia, we have the MBR2, the TB3M, and the I301. And also the overpowered PO2. We have some SB2s here in the folder. I think some of them got removed. And then when we go down, we can see that there is the P39K1. I think this is purchasable. Then I think this one is also purchasable, the A5. That one I want definitely. What else? Yeah, I won the P63C5, I won the P63A10, and I also won the Premium Spitfire Mark 9C. And those three planes are really, really good planes. 58 rounds for a 37mm, yes please. And for the jets, you can see, again, nothing researched, although some planes are not that far off. And, you know, again, keeping them in reserve for some premium research points. Then the RBT5 is rather rare, like the SU-76M. And I won some talismans here as well. The KV-2 1940 is rather rare. I think it was in the summer event. Then the KV-220 was there as well, if I'm not correctly. And the the T5 is a Panther A with the Panther D battle rating because Russian balance. And it was available, I think, when you purchased the dog tag for the Thunder League. Then what about the Russian Tier 4 premiums? I really like the T-34-85. But I think that IS-2 Revenge is better, but you're coming off cheaper if you put a talisman on the IS-2 mod 1944 because it's the same tank. But the most fun tank that you can buy is the T-34-100. Just so good. While the T-44-122 is a little bit derpy, I think the SU-122P has a faster reload. Then, yeah, T-54 1947, most balanced top tier tank. IS-3 and IS-4, really great tanks, but the T-10M might be the best tank in the game, and I stand by that. It's just a very good tank that has no real big flaw. Then let's move on to Britain. And with the aviation, I have the Gladiator Mark IIS as a rather rare one. The Havoc or the Boston, one of those two is also rather rare. Then the two Devoitants, I purchased that one as one of my earliest premiums. And it was relatively cheap, like 500 golden eagles, something like that. The D521 was an event plane. And the Boomerangs were a bunch of fun in arcade. Then, do you remember when the Wellington Mark 10 was at rank 4 with a battle rating of 5.0? Those were the times. Sterlings and Lancasters got introduced afterwards. And there are so many Spitfires and variations of it, I'm not even talking about it. For jets, it's just one that is spaded, the Canberra Mark II. The other one is about to be spaded. And also the Meteor is not that far off, so there is progress, although it's not that visible. For tanks, the only two tanks with APHE are the Independent, but that seems to be not such a good tank. The Grand 1, not that great as well, although there is the possibility. The 75mm is good at this battle rating. Won some talismans as well here, and when I spaded those tanks, I ran through them like in 2 weeks. I purchased myself into the closed beta for a few bucks, and one of those two is the one. The other one I won, and I won so many modifications for it that really accelerated the progress hard. If you are like stuck here and you wonder if it will get ever better, well, the Centurion Mark III, the Carnarvon, and the Tortoise are really great tanks. They have survivability, they have armor, and they have reverse gear. And hard-hitting guns. Especially the Carnarvon and the Centurion feature this beautiful 20-pounder that just rips apart its enemies faster than they can replace their crew. Centurion Mark X, not so great, I don't like it, but the Chieftain Mark III is one of the best tanks in the game, if not the best tank, especially when being stock. I want to show you here my progress. Yeah, you can see I really played this tank a lot, and I don't regret it. Putting a talisman on it, and you have the best grinding machine for the British. Then we had the aviation already. Let's move on to Japan. As rare planes, I have the Ki-10-2C, the helicopter plane. Not so sure what else got removed, but I won some talismans. A6K4, one of the best planes in the game, in my opinion. Back in the days, I dominated arcade ground strike missions because I was the only planes with bombs big enough to destroy the big pillboxes. So I could really dictate the outcome of the battle. And I won also a talisman on the A6M2N, the Canoe of Destiny, and the Ki-43 won the first one. And I love the Japanese tech tree. It's one of the most enjoyable to play, except for this branch here. The bombers lack the bomb load that they actually had. And I think the A7M1 Repu with the NK9H engine, if I'm not mistaken here, is one of the best planes in the game. And yeah, there are so many good planes. Even the Kika is kind of fun, and I played it a bit, and you can see not much left for the grind, like with the R2Y2s. Like 700,000 silver lines, or no, 70,000 silver lines repair cost. That's a lot for one flyout. The next thing is I want to mention here the B-17E, one of the few premium bombers that we have currently in the game, or the multi-engined bombers in the game. And I want to mention it because I don't own it, and I think I never got a test flight for it. But when we look in the statistics, this is my third most played plane in arcade, but I did nothing, right? Well, this is kind of a statistical oddity, as the plane itself gets, well, when you play tank arcade, you have a kill streak of 3, you can get into a mini air battle event, and you can go into a bomber, and you get randomly assigned one of, I think, 3 or 4 possible bombers. The B-24, the Lancaster, if I'm not mistaken, the B-17E, and the Do 217. And all that you achieve with this bomber gets assigned to your tank that you drive. So that's a secret way of how to spade tanks. Now, the next thing is when you take out a good tank, you make 3 kills, and you die within the battle, you can get into a worse tank, press the battle event, and then you can bomb out the enemy, and the reward gets taken for the tank that you're currently in. So keep that in mind. And as you can see, this plane made a big impact. Over 80% win rate. That's significant. So when I had access to this bomber and I used it correctly, I really decided the outcome of the battle quite often. So I also have 95 million convertible research points, and I also have nearly 110 million silver lines. And I think I'm ready for the patch. I'm ready for 1.65. And Let me know in the comment section what you think about this story, about the achievements that I managed to get, the planes and the tanks that I have. Which rare vehicles do you have that I don't own, or which ones that I own are the ones that you want, and why? And also, yeah, tell me about the progress on your account overall. So I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we will see each other on the battlefields and in the skies of War Thunder.